God instructed Samuel, a prophet and judge of Israel, to go to the house of Jesse in Bethlehem and anoint one of Jesse's sons as the future king of Israel, as Saul, the current king, had disobeyed God's commands. 1 Samuel chapter 16 verse 3. When Samuel arrived at Jesse's house, he saw Jesse's eldest son and assumed that he was the one whom God had chosen. God spoke to Samuel and reminded him that he looks at the heart, not the outward appearance. 1 Samuel chapter 16 verse 7. One by one, Samuel examined Jesse's sons, but God did not choose any of them. Samuel asked if there were any more sons, and Jesse mentioned that his youngest son, David, was tending to the sheep, a young shepherd who gained recognition for his bravery and skill as a musician. Samuel insisted on seeing David, and when he arrived, God revealed to him that David was the chosen one. Samuel then anointed David with oil, symbolizing his appointment as the future king of Israel while Saul was still reigning as the current king. From that day forward, the Spirit of the Lord came upon David, and he began to rise in prominence. David was summoned to play the harp for Saul, who suffered from tormenting spirits. Saul was impressed by David's skills and made him his armor-bearer. Jonathan, recognizing that God had chosen David to be the future king of Israel, willingly gave up his rights to the throne in support of David. 1 Samuel chapter 18 verses 3 to 4. David's popularity grew as he successfully defeated the Philistine giant, Goliath, with a single stone from his slingshot. He was rewarded with a wife, Michal, Saul's daughter. As David's popularity and military successes increased, Saul's jealousy and fear of losing his throne grew. Saul began to see David as a threat and tried to eliminate him. On one occasion, Michal helped David escape from Saul's assassins by letting him down through a window and placing an idol in his bed to make it appear as if he was still there. David was forced to flee, went into hiding, and lived as a fugitive in the wilderness. During David's time in hiding, Saul gave Michal in marriage to another man named Palti. David gathered a group of loyal followers known as David's mighty men. During this time, David had several opportunities to eliminate Saul but chose not to harm him, as he respected Saul's anointed position as king. Jonathan lost his life in battle against the Philistines. Saul fell by his sword, and David mourned their deaths. After Saul's death, David became the king of Judah and, later, the rest of Israel. David sought out any surviving descendants of Saul's family. When he learned about Mephibosheth, who was crippled in both feet, he invited him to live in the palace and provided him with a place at his table, treating him as one of his sons. David ruled from Hebron for 7 years before he conquered the Jebusites, capturing the city of Jerusalem and making it his capital and the political and religious center of the kingdom. Jerusalem holds great significance in the history and culture of Israel and is considered a holy city by 3 major religions, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. He became a renowned king, ruling over a united Israel for 40 years. Under David's leadership, Israel experienced a time of prosperity and expansion, and he established a strong and united kingdom. David is also known for his passionate worship of God and his musical abilities. He composed many of the Psalms, which are still revered and used in worship today. His relationship with God was characterized by both triumphs and failures, but he always sought repentance and restoration. King David had a desire to build a temple, but God did not allow him to do so because he was a man of war and had shed much blood. Solomon, David's son, was chosen by God to be the one to build the temple because of his wisdom and peaceful reign. Solomon had the resources and wealth to undertake such a massive construction project, as he inherited a stable kingdom from his father. Therefore, it was Solomon who fulfilled David's dream and built the first temple in Jerusalem. David had many wives and concubines. Despite his successes, David also faced personal challenges and made grave mistakes. One of the most well-known incidents is his affair with Bathsheba, the wife of Uriah the Hittite. After impregnating Bathsheba, David ordered Uriah's death in battle to cover up his sin. God sent the prophet Nathan to confront David, and he repented wholeheartedly. Absalom was the 3rd son of King David in the Bible. His rebellion was fueled by his ambition to become king and his resentment towards his father. Absalom gained support from the people of Israel and started a revolt against David, leading to a period of civil war. Eventually, the rebellion was crushed, and Absalom lost his life in the battle. King David was succeeded by his son, together with Bathsheba, King Solomon. His life teaches us about the importance of faith, repentance, and the consequences of our actions. Despite his flaws, David's story serves as a reminder that God can use imperfect people for his purposes and that true repentance and humility can lead to forgiveness and restoration. David had a remarkable relationship with Jonathan and kept his promise by taking care of his son.